Matthews Show, where politics meets the South. So grab your sweet tea, find a comfortable spot to sit back, and let's embark on this journey together. Chip away, chip away at the storm. Chip away, that's what I wanna do. Sweet little mama, I wanna get next to you.
6:07. Good Monday morning. A new week, a new week of hot air. Yes. Good morning, everyone. I am Chip Matthews. You're on the program. Good morning, Shane Easley. As you are the first person to hit the like and love button up there online. And there'll be more in just a moment. Good morning, everybody. We're live worldwide, all across America. And even in Portugal. Yes. Somebody checking in from Portugal. Yeah. This is the Chip Matthews program here on WYAB. It's people check in all over the world to keep up with what's going on in Mississippi. Yeah. How y'all doing? So, 1 year anniversary of Trump being of Trump's attempted murder. We know nothing more than we knew before. It was Trump, so it doesn't matter. Is that what it is? I mean, he didn't want to talk about it. Good morning, Will Brown. I mean, Trump was shot at. Blood drawn. Our government, there are things that are going on that do not make sense. And when you look at these things, I've been watching some stuff going back to the Bay of Pigs and all that. Good morning, Jeff Thomas. Did I get enough rest? There's no such thing as enough rest for the wicked. So understand that. No rest for the wicked. Good to meet you this weekend, though. He came out to Acme Pizza and saw us. Got a pizza. I hope it was good. I know it was. But when you go back and start looking at the CIA, okay, now the CIA, I think George Bush worked for the CIA. He was the head of it for a while. If you go through and look at all this, this is just me doing a little math. Okay, we had an assassination attempt on Kennedy that was successful, right? Okay. Then you go a little bit further and we had an assassination attempt. Well, before that, was it before or after? Yeah, before Kennedy, we also had an assassination attempt on Wallace. Okay. He was running for president. Then we had the two Kennedys that were killed, right? Okay. Then we had an attempt on Ronald Reagan, right? Okay. Then Bush got into office, and there was no attempt on Bush, as I recall. Then in between Bush and Bush, what do we have? What do we have? I'm missing a president here. Oh, Bill Clinton. There was no attempt on Bill Clinton. Bushes and the Clintons got along well and still do. And then the other Bush. Then we come out of that. We had an attempt on Ronald Reagan. Then we had an attempt on the main guy, the big guy, Donald Trump. And I just trying to look. If you were connected to the CIA, you didn't have a plot attempt on you. And then afterwards it's a new conspiracy. I'm always working on them. But that's the one I'm looking at. And I just look at it and I just go, this is, to know that he was attempted to be murdered. And you know that Biden didn't call for it because Biden didn't know where the hell he was. Still doesn't, So who made the call? That's the question. who made the call for the attempt. Because y'all, this guy that did the first attempted murder on the president, he was what? Shot up, had all these phones. They killed him immediately. He got off 8 shots. 8 shots. That's insane. And then they took him out real quick. And then I think he was cremated, within 10 days? Maybe less? Cremated and gone. So you don't have any evidence. You have nothing to go on. We got what we needed. Well, you hadn't released much stories on it. But anyway, that's enough on that. The president's doing good. Pam Bondi, he came out in support of her. I think a lot of stuff that they do at the White House or in the media is just a toy with the media, because they don't want to report anything unless they think they got something that is bad. And just because the FBI director and the attorney general are fighting back and forth, that don't bother anybody, but Democrats are going to report it. So that's good. Good morning, Beth. How are you doing this morning? Okay, so let's talk about this Rudy Warnock thing. I'm going to kind of give y'all an update. This is from Channel 3. Anthony Warren's he's been sitting right there with me. And so we've been going through this. A former CMU engineer allegedly spent nearly $130,000 over 7 months to bribe Canton City officials on contract. That's according to information shared by Rudy Warnock and Cleveland Anderson's corruption trial Thursday afternoon. According to testimony from a forensic accountant, Elvira Tate, more than $170,000 in charges were made on Warnock's business credit cards and StubHub purchases. Records show Records show that they were racked up driving multiple out-of-state trips, including one to Chicago, one to Washington, 2 to New Orleans, which involved a strip club. Good morning, Irene Jackson. Warnock is facing 4 federal charges in connection with a 2016 and 2017 scheme to pay off city officials in exchange for sewer engineering. I have got more background information on that. He wanted to get the sewer engineering job that did not exist. He's been pushing for it for years, and he wants to be able to take that sewer engineering job because that's all stuff that's happening underground, and you can hide everything. Good morning, Dawn McKenzie. I hope we see you this week. So that's something that you do because, nobody wants to say anything about sewer, but he could have done that, and he wanted to get a bond on it. And I found out more details on that, and we'll go into that at a later date. But anyway, his trial began on Monday. It keeps going. Second person, Cleveland Anderson, is being tried along with Warnock with similar charges, but they haven't really done. Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. We haven't seen anything real come out of it. Okay. In all, $170,000 spent by Warnock equates to about 15% of the $1.1 million in fees his company received from CMU. Okay. And he still had invoices that were never paid of $5.5 million. But y'all, when you look at it from another perspective, spending 15% to get 1.1 million, that might be reasonable to do that. Now, and all of these charges like Morton Steakhouse, Hawkins Jet Service, Landmark New Orleans, an American restaurant is $5,773. That's from the strip club. The strip club on their credit card comes out at American Restaurant, just to let y'all know. But that's the strip club that they attended for 6-7 hours. Sullivan's Transport, Hawkins Jet Service, more Landmark. But At a Chicago nightclub, expenses included $43,273,000 to Studio Paris, a now closed Chicago club. Wonder why they went out of business. Seems like they were making good money. $12,000 for at Neiman was spent at Neiman Marcus in Washington, and $10,000 on another trip to New Orleans and the Saints game organizations. Blah blah blah. But as you look at all this, you had all this, but then people testified that a lot of this stuff was receipts were turned in and paid back by CMU. So that'd be more money that they would have gotten. Okay, the charges were spelled out in PowerPoint perception. Eric Gilkey and Andrew Grant testified that they accompanied Warnock on these trips, as did at least one or two Warnock associate employees. And then they list all the expenses, another $46,000. John Coletti, who represents the former Canton City engineer, asked Tate only why she focused on those charges after going through some 2,200 pages of credit card documents. Special agent gave me objectives to identify expenses for trips taken by Rudy Warnock, she said. Okay, you got 22,000, what was that? 2,200 pages of credit card documents on Rudy, and you only are looking at a few of them. That's interesting, isn't it? But y'all, the real thing here is the trial continues tomorrow at noon. They have their last witness. And then when the last witness hits the stand, the defense is the state, United States government is resting. My understanding is Rudy's people are calling no one to the stand. Right. Unless something changes, no one's coming to the stand to defend him because the state, or rather the United States government, has not proven their case against Rudy. Now, we all know that there's some shady things going on, and it's only 2016 and 2017. Let's go back further. You can go back to all the shady stuff that went on while he was working for the supervisors. And, of course, Mike Espy appears in the middle of all of this also. He had to testify, too, to a pair of boots that cost a whole lot of money. Good morning, Mitch Steiner. Good morning, Lloyd Travis. So, and Mitch is happy today. Mitch Steiner, by the way, is happy today because Bitcoin is going up a little bit. Making billionaires is what it's doing. In some cases, it's at no, that's my account. It's at 121.65. Now that's it. Bitcoin, the crypto world is coming. And remember, beginning in October, the federal government is going to change to where they don't mail you out a check anymore on anything. They're going to do everything electronically, and they'll also do your crypto. They'll do crypto, or they're going to wire it into your bank or whatever, but it's not going to be done the way it's done now. That's part of the big, beautiful bill because it costs so much to put it out in paper. So they're going to change it to electronic in coming up in October. Remember that, in the new fiscal year. Okay, y'all, we're going to take a quick break and we're going to be back. We're going to talk some more. But what do y'all think? I mean, if you were turning in all your receipts, and this is, I mean, you know, Rudy's got, and what I see here is that no one has proven that any major cash has exchanged hands. It all looks like the money was not out of Rudy's pocket, but out of the funds collected at CMU, and they were shared around. That's what it looks like. That's what's been testified to. And they talk about a guy got a check, and then he cashed it and split it, but the money came out of CMU. That's where all the money went, y'all. The money that we've been asking about. Where did all that money go? We'll be back right here on the Chip Matthews Show on WYAB. Money that we've been asking about. Where did all that money go?
We'll be back right here on the Chip Matthews.
1039 WYAB.
Looking for the perfect spot to unwind with friends and family? El Patrio Mexican Restaurant is calling your name. With locations in Flowood and Cross Gates, Brandon, El Patrio is the cozy, family-owned gym where great food meets great times. Enjoy El Patrio's signature margaritas and happy hour specials that keep their customers coming back for more. Indulge in their authentic Mexican dishes prepared with love and served in a warm, family-friendly atmosphere. Come to El Patrio and taste the traditions. El Patrio, where family, flavor, and fun come together.
An American home just doesn't seem complete without that flag hanging from the pole on the porch. And where do you get that flag? In Jackson, it's at a complete flag source, I-55 North. You'll find U.S. and Mississippi flags in all sizes. And yes, that new Mississippi flag is available along with international flags and all state and territorial flags. They can build your flagpole and repair that ragged old flag. It's at CompleteFlags.com. That's CompleteFlags.com.
Are you hosting an event? Let Burgers Blues Barbecue handle the food while you enjoy the moment. From an important lunch to a dreamy wedding, B3 Catering is sure to please everyone. Find Burgers Blues Barbecue online and click the catering tab or just give us a call. And when you're dining out, visit Burgers Blues Barbecue in Flowood, Brandon, or Madison for incredible plates served fresh daily. Burgers Blues Barbecue and B3 Catering, a delicious combination.
This copy machine has me so frustrated. I could just body slam it.
Whoa there, leave the body slamming to the pros. And leave superior high-quality office tech to the experts at Advantage Business Systems, brother.
Woo! Get it!
Never body slam your copy machine again. Visit absms.com. Advantage Business Systems, laying the smackdown on bad tech.
B-Dubs cocktails, pretzel knots, and mozzarella sticks. It's all on me today.
Oh, so you're happy hour rich when the happy hour menu is only $3 to $6 from 3 to 6 p.m.
$3 to $6, that's crazy.
You know we're at happy hour right now from 3 to 6 p.m.
It's happy hour crazy.
We were here yesterday too.
Crazy.
Quit playing. I'm gonna let you pay though. Food, beer, and cocktails for $3 to $6 from 3 to 6 p.m. Buffalo Wild Wings for the greatest of all times. Monday through Friday only. Beer deals available all day at participating locations. Taxes and fees apply. Dine in only. Drink responsibly. Offers vary by location. Void where prohibited.
Why should you choose Ceramic Air Conditioning and Heating for all service or installation? Well, they purchase all parts directly from the manufacturer. All of their factory-trained technicians have been hand-selected for skill, work ethic, and experience. There are never any hidden fees or charges. Ceramic Air Conditioning and Heating is dedicated to your complete satisfaction, and they're family-owned and operated. For residential and commercial service or installation, contact Ceramic Air Conditioning and Heating, 601-317-0729, or make an appointment through their Facebook page.
Here's what they're saying about Corcoran Door Company.
I'm going to yell out to one of your sponsors here, Corcoran Door. When the guy came out here, instead of just trying to throw a door up, he was looking at the way the house was facing. Man, with this double garage here on the south side, you might want to consider a insulated door. I came in earlier today about 2:30. The car thermometer said 99 degrees. The thermometer inside the garage was 82.
That's why they've been around 50 years.
Yeah.
CorkandDoor.com. CORKERN door.com.
Get the jump on the season at the #1 stop for all your boating and custom water sports needs, Smith Marine. Crest pontoons are here. Come experience luxury and style with a 90-day, no payment, no interest financing option with approved credit, plus a 1-year Seato membership, free cover, free Bimini top, and free inflatable tube. And these crests are pre-rigged with Suzuki motors and Suzuki's industry best warranty. Smith Marine also buys quality pre-owned boats with consignments and trade-ins on the res in Ridgeland and at smithmarinesales.com.
Welcome back to the Chip Matthews Show, and here's your host, Chip Matthews.
Hello, I am Chip Matthews here on a Monday morning here on WYB. Y'all, it's kind of cloudy out there. It's going to be hot, and we got rain falling in, and so you got to be careful. Good morning, Justin Dunn, and good morning, Connie Crenshaw Shoemaker. People checking in online, and we're just trying to keep up with it. New listeners and people checking in. Hit the like or love button, and we will locate you and say hello to you. And then also coming up real soon, we're going to start doing the pet parade. I've been getting the music ready and everything just to do that. I think somebody needs to do it. But y'all, tonight is a work session for the Canton City Alderman and Mayor. And I plan to be there tonight to give them an update on what occurred in the Rudy Warnock trial. And then I'm going to ask a favor of them. Good morning, Debbie Bragansky. Or I don't know if it's asking a favor or demanding a favor of telling them that they need to, based on the information that we have heard in the trial and the court testimony, that they need to vote immediately to bring Shad White in to do an audit, a payroll audit. That's all I want is payroll audit. And they also need to do it at all the government agencies that belong to Canton. That would include tourism. It would also include CMU, which is the big one, and anything else that we send money to. Because I believe, and very much so over at Canton Public Schools, and everybody's going to say, well, they have committees and this, that, and the other. No, the aldermen appoint those people to work there. So when they work there and you have people that are working at the schools and working at CMU over the past few years who are also aldermen, they have been complicit in everything going on. The aldermen are feeling like they have a buffer, but they don't. And we can, and this testimony, when we get a hold of the entire transcript and we get through with the trial, we're probably going to have enough evidence to go arrest every corrupt politician we've had in Canton as far back as we can, as long as we haven't run out of what is it called? Statute of limitations. Because what's been testified to and what we knew was in the bank at CMU at one time, it's gone. It's all gone. Millions of dollars. And from what we can tell, I mean, I understand where we're going to hear testimony tomorrow that has to do with money that was extorted out of people that were working at CMU, and they were given their jobs by aldermen, and then they, after they get a job, they have to kick back up to the boss, to the alderman, in one or two cases. And I don't know if it's widespread, but we know that the two were involved in that scheme, Grant and Gilkey. And it shows, and it kind of looks like Rudy showed up, says, hey, I got some crooked aldermen, and I'll just get in here and get reimbursed on everything I do, and I'll get whatever I can, and I'll make it look like this. That's what it appears. That's the way the testimony has gone so far. Now, I know that Rudy has some shady stories or some gray area. I mean, he built a pond or a lake that didn't hold water. He engineered an airstrip or two and this, that, and the other that we don't have. You know, there's lots of stuff. There's roads that he repaired that aren't repaired, and people signed off. It's sidewalk projects like safe routes to school where they weren't done properly in Canton. And then they had to go back and do them again and got paid again on them. Don't understand why nobody ever goes against somebody's insurance bond when we hire people that are licensed and bonded to do things. But this stuff goes way back, and we don't know how far it's still continuing or if it's continuing. But we need to check, because there's an alderman or two that have recently been in office or currently in office who voted with these two that did the crimes and also called the meetings. So we need to look into it just to see how deep it goes. And it's sad because, I mean, your problem, if you got rid of everybody in Canton, you don't have enough qualified people to be on these boards. Just like, for instance, on the CMU board, you got people on that board that don't know anything about utilities. Nothing. Not a drop. Wouldn't know a kilowatt from a megawatt. Wouldn't know water from electricity, probably. but they're on those boards and they're appointed by those aldermen. So they need to do a better job of who they're appointing and putting on boards and vet them a little bit better. Not just put them on there to vote the way they want them to vote or to look in the direction they want them to look in order to keep from being caught stealing the money. I mean, if people could count and realize what's going on, none of this could happen. It couldn't happen as long as it was being watched by competent people. But if they're not competent enough to understand what they're doing, they don't need to be on those boards. Not at all. Take a quick break. We'll be back right here on the Chip Matthews Show on WYAB. Not at all. Take a quick break. We'll be back right here.
Keep it tuned here to 103.9 WYAB.
Hello, I'm Gary Jolly from the Tractor Store. LS Tractor understands your passion for the land, and just like you, LS Tractor is committed to excellence and superior products. LS Tractor comes with a long list of standard features that are unmatched by other brands and backed with the LS commitment to provide exceptional customer service and satisfaction. You get a lot more for your money with the LS Tractor. Come to the Tractor Store in Richland to experience the LS difference. The Tractor Store in Richland.
When you feel like your business is drowning in paperwork and compliance issues, it's time to call PeopleLease. Let PeopleLease take care of the busy work so that you can save valuable time and focus on what really matters, growing your business. PeopleLease is based in Ridgeland, so you're always dealing with local professionals who will actually understand your business and its needs. Join thousands of satisfied clients who trust PeopleLease to simplify their employee administration. Visit PeopleLease.com. That's PeopleLease.com to learn more.
CBS News Brief. We've just learned at least 9 people were killed in a fire at an assisted living facility southeast of Providence last night. Fall River, Massachusetts Fire Chief Jeffrey Bacon.
Crews were met with heavy fire coming through the main entrance and multiple people hanging out the windows, looking to be rescued.
The search suspended for 166 people still missing in July 4th's flash flooding after new floods in central Texas. KRLD's Chris Fox.
3 additional inches of rain stalled the recovery effort in Kerr County. As much as 9 inches of rain north of there.
President Trump's expected to announce a plan to sell weapons to NATO allies to be passed on to Ukraine.
The European Union is paying for it. We're not paying anything for it, but we will send it. It'll be business for us, and we will send them Patriots, which they desperately need.
Mr. Trump set to meet with NATO Secretary General at the White House today. CBS News Brief. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
Hello, WYAB listeners. My name is Rob Montgomery. I'm a minister in the Church of God, and I'm honored to be the regional overseer for the Church of God of Louisiana and Mississippi. I invite you to listen to my program, Arise Shine, on Sunday mornings, where I'll share the Lord's thoughts to my heart for you. Arise Shine will include Bible messages, encouraging thoughts, and a biblical view of current events. It's my hope that you'll be blessed.
Tune in to Arise Shine, Sunday mornings, 10:30 to 11.
Smart business owners will tell you the best time to start a new business is now. Whether you're thinking of starting a new business or expanding an existing one, the perfect location is the Cotton Exchange Plaza in Flora. Over 13,000 cars will pass by your business each and every day on Highway 49. Space is available now, so what are you waiting for? Call the Cotton Exchange Plaza at 601-879-3503 to find out how you can expand your business today. The Cotton Exchange Plaza in Flora, where we mean business.
It can be hard to move past the guilt, times of weakness and regret, knowing you weren't there for your family when they needed you the most. But there is life after addiction. We're seeing broken families restored, one man at a time, through our vehicle, cash, and thrift store donations. It's given Mercy House Adult and Teen Challenge the ability to help these men succeed in having better lives. Donate a vehicle, running or not, and we'll come pick it up. Call today, 601-572-7296, or visit us at vehicledonationsms.com.
The best investment on earth is earth. This is real estate agent Shane Saxton. As I like to say, the government can print more money, but they can't print more land. In the past 2 years, I've sold over $100 million in real estate. Call me today to get your land and home sold, because Saxton Sales isn't just a slogan. It's backed up by hundreds of satisfied clients just like you.
Find one of Mississippi's top real estate agent, Shane Saxton, on Facebook, or call Shane at 601-540-5040. Upper Property, 601-724-1435.
Chip Matthews Show, and here is your host, Chip Matthews.
And it is Monday morning. Good morning to you. A new week, new day. Everybody get up and get out of bed. Get on your way to work, because work is where it's at. Yeah. If you work for a living, you're making money for a living. You're not a drain on the economy. Good morning, Rhonda Keenan. What is that? I can't see your last name. Although these glasses work, they don't work that well. Cloinger? Okay. Good morning to Maryland Christian Cannon and everyone else out there in the wonderful world of radio. Hit the like and the love button online and help me out there on the Facebook and the Rumble and the YouTube and the TikTok. Okay, y'all. So let's talk about this statue in Brandon for just a moment. Just a moment. Okay. So they wanted to move. You had a vote come up in the week of Juneteenth by the mayor of Brandon to start a controversy, which everybody's getting involved in now, to move this Confederate statue that has been in the square or the drive-through. I wouldn't call it a square since 1907. Okay. I've heard that it has been in the way. Somebody said it's traffic. Well, only 3 cars have ever hit it since 1907 is what I understand. So if it's only 3 cars since 1907, that's a pretty good track record. I can tell you some bridges in Jackson have been wore out. But statue's only been hitting 3 times since 1907. That's pretty good. That's pretty good numbers. But and they say all the racist stuff on it. Y'all, different times, different history. Okay? Now, my way of looking at this is the Butch Lee probably made a deal with the Democrats in the mayoral election because he didn't bring it up during the election. Now, did he? No, he brings it up Juneteenth after the election. He brings it up and says, we got to get rid of that statue. And then he got caught having to break the tie. And if you go back and look at it, I mean, he was caught. It wasn't like he's going 3-3. He thought he had the votes. It's 3-3. What do I do? And then he says, first thing he says is, well, let's just table it. And then they reminded him that you have to vote on it. You brought it up. You got to vote on it. And we're voting on it. You have to break the tie. So then he sat there and looked around. And he says, well, this phase of the project, I'm going to vote for moving it on this phase of the project. And he changed it from moving the statue to kind of sounding like it was a review of moving the statue. But it was done on Juneteenth for a reason. It was done in that week, because many, many, many activists that support Juneteenth, we'll say it that way, we're calling for celebrate Juneteenth, don't celebrate the 4th of July. And that is just wrong. And moving this statue, I understand there's some more issues with moving it. One, it doesn't belong to the city of Brandon. It does not belong to the city of Brandon. So requesting to move it or anything, and then the guy that showed up with the money says, well, we can put it here in a historic value, blah, blah, blah. Shut up. Moving it is not an issue, not the thing you should do. We should not hide history. You know, if we went down there and said, look, we need to rebuild this neighborhood where Medgarever's house is, and we need to tear it down. Oh my God, what a commotion that would cause. You know, and that's the way things are. History is history, and it is to stay where it goes, to where you can read and understand. Now, I know the state of Mississippi no longer tests for history when you graduate. They don't want to test for it. No, history doesn't matter. We'll just forget about it. We won't go through that. And history would show us even in the world history or the United States history, that we had some problems, like even with the Bay of Pigs. Things happened. Invading Grenada, when we invaded Grenada. These things are all things that occurred in America that are part of history that you need to complete the thread all the way through. Some are CIA operations. Some, we had the Contra affair. You had all this stuff that goes on that is hidden from us. And over time, as you start connecting the dots, you can start figuring it out. That's why they take the Kennedy assassination. Say, we got to hide that for 40 years or 50 years. We got to hide that for so many years so everybody that was involved can die out. No, that's just wrong. That is the way we do it. But when you look at this statue, it's been there since 1907. So y'all, in case you didn't know, without doing the math, that's a very long time. And only now, coming off an election in a time when everybody's attacking race in Rankin County, and when you attack race in any area, it's the wrong thing to do. Attack the local government for not doing the right thing. Attack people for doing right or wrong, but do not attack people and make it a racial issue. Don't change the narrative of the problem. Race may have something to do with it, but it doesn't have everything to do with it. If someone is doing wrong, it doesn't matter if they're black or white. If somebody is buying something, all you do is look at that green money when it comes in. When they, that's it. It's green. Money is green. Right? Black and white has nothing to do with what's going on. So when people take every issue and make it a race issue just to gain ground, just to make it look bad, it's the window dressing on the wall. It's about race. No. And we got to think about this way. Southerners are Southerners. Whether you're black or white, you're from the South. Okay? And in Mississippi at one time, and it still exists today, I believe, we had more slaves in Mississippi than slave owners. Think about that for just a second. There were more slaves than slave owners. And these people, according to the migration, people left and this, that, and the other. But the reality is there are more blacks. We are number one blackest state in Mississippi. We are the blackest state. Yet we are a Republican state. And we are a Republican state because the people that grew up here that had their brains together believe in people, not color, not party. They want what's best. They want to live. Everybody wants to live in a nice neighborhood and talk to their neighbors and eat great food and blah, blah, blah. Nobody wants to be considered. You don't want somebody to walk up to you and call you white, and you don't want somebody to walk up to you and call you black. You just want them to come up to you and say, hello, my name is whoever. Good morning, Irene Jackson. And say, if I just walk up to you and say, good morning, Irene, you'd say, good morning, Chip, and we'd be on our way. And I'd be, I'd let you buy me a donut. Well, you can't have any donuts on the square in Canton, but we used to have great donuts on the square at the Shipley's back in the day. But that's what I'm getting at. It's just greet people by their name if you know them. If not, you introduce yourself. But the black and white issue being put in the middle of everything all the time is ridiculous. And when you think of the black and white issue, even the state of Mississippi built a museum. They're not called black and white. They're called the two museums. One for the civil rights movement and things that occurred in the black community. And then the other one, which I guess is considered the white history. I mean, what are we talking about here? the two Mississippi museums, they're both Mississippi history. Shouldn't they be referred to as one? Shouldn't they be combined to be one history? Because every time we divide anything, we start taking ourselves further and further apart from each other. You know, my thing is when you look at the U.S. Army, all those that fought for Mississippi were there from Mississippi. They weren't for black Mississippi or white Mississippi. Hey, Timothy Jenkins, you like lunch? Well, I like lunch too. But the reality is, it's not black and white. When you don't work, that's a different issue. When you don't do what you're supposed to do, and there's sorry whites and there's sorry blacks. But the reality is, all of us are out there hustling to survive. We've got cars to pay for. We've got house rent to pay for. We've got property tax to pay for. Good morning, Russell McGuffey. So black and white doesn't have anything to do with that statue standing up in the middle of town from 1907. No more than black and white has anything to do with the Statue of Liberty sitting out in the harbor. Because that is our history and what it represents. And when you see a Confederate statue, a lot of people go, well, that had to do with the war about the slaves. No, that had to do with the people that were fighting the war, not particularly the rich slave owners, but the people that their neighbor was in the fight. So they couldn't, even if they wanted to still be for the U.S., but they go, I can't fight against my neighbor. They defend their land here in Mississippi and all over Virginia. It's just like Robert E. Lee. He was offered the Union head to be the main guy, the big general for the government. And he said he couldn't lift his sword against his neighbor. And he fought for the Southern side. It isn't that he was for slavery or anything, and people know what the rules were, but the reality is the war was brought on by those people that bring on war and look for division all the time. The war was brought on. Yes, slavery was in it. I listened to Sean Yerkeron the other day read the thing where the Mississippi blah, blah, blah said the slavery. But the reality is slavery at that time was an economic power in Mississippi. Selling people was as big as selling cotton. And you got to look at it another way. A slave, 5 or 6 of them were a John Deere tractor. Then when a John Deere tractor was made, you didn't need those 5 or 6 slaves anymore as the economy changed. And then also in the situation of slavery, you were brought here to America. You didn't know anything. You couldn't speak the language. You couldn't do anything. But over time, you did learn. And then you would age out and be free because nobody wanted to keep you after your work efficiency had gone down. I mean, this is a situation here that I'm talking about that is how you run a business. And slaves had value, and that is why the slave owners, which there were just few, there were less of them than people that fought in the war. Less of them than people that fought in the war that were white, that were just here struggling like the rest of America and the South. And they were protecting their neighbor. They were also protecting their honor and their values. And that was a different time. There is no substitute for the history that actually occurred. It's interesting that, and then these people that put up the statue in 1907, they were only doing it in honor of those people that fought for their neighbor. Okay. Not everybody there's no way everybody was a slave owner. It just doesn't work. The math does not work because you always have rich people and you always have poor people. A lot of people were sharecroppers, this, that, and the other. But the reality is the slave owner had control of, they were the rich people. There were more millionaires in Mississippi than there was in New York City, especially in Natchez is what they say. And they controlled the narrative of what the war was about. But once the war popped off, you were fighting for your land and your area because they wanted to take it, too. Never mind, you may have been just a settler with 10 acres or 1 acre or 2 acres in a house and 4 kids running around barefoot out the front yard as a person in the South back then. But you had to get up and fight to keep what you had. Okay, because, not everybody was that rich, but the rich people, we all know, control the wars. That's what happens. That's what's happening today in wars. The rich, the wealthy, the big corporations, they run the wars. And that's what's going on in the world. I think I've explained that. I think I haven't explained it. If I haven't, I'll try some more at a later date. We'll be back right here on the Chip Matthews Show on WYAB. I'll try some more at a later date. We'll be back right here on the Chip Matthews Show.
1039 WYAB.
Rapid Oil Change has been the fast service leader in oil changes for over 40 years. With parts to fit most makes and models in stock, it's easy to see why we are Central Mississippi's leader in fast service. We feature brands like Castrol, Mobile One, Rain-X, Lucas, and Full Throttle. We do more than just change oil with services like wiper blades, new tires, tire repair, cabin filters, air filters, and much, much more. Open 6 days a week and ready to serve. Stop by one of our 6 fast-friendly locations today. We accept most national fleets, and local fleets are welcome.
Knock your healthcare needs out of the park with City Center Drugs. Hi, this is Mary Beth Hardy, owner of City Center Drugs, located at the District at Eastover in Jackson. City Center Drugs is your home run destination for prescriptions, over-the-counter medications, vaccines, and even unique gifts with custom gift wrapping. Whether you're aiming to maintain a healthy lifestyle or looking to score the perfect gift, City Center Drugs has got you covered. Swing by today and experience the winning team at City Center Drugs. Visit us online at citycenterdrugs.com and go Braves.
Hey guys, this is Casey Ellis with Ellis Autoplex, located on Highway 471 in Brandon. Ellis Autoplex, known as Little Truck City, is your old school mom and pop style dealership that's family owned and operated. We specialize in 4-wheel drive trucks, but don't worry, we have cars and SUVs too. Looking to sell your vehicle? Bring it by Ellis Autoplex, where we pay fair market value and we cut you a check on the spot. Need your vehicle service or repaired? We can handle that too. Shop us online or set your appointment at ellisautoplex.com. That's ellisautoplex.com.
Are you looking to get stronger, fitter, and push your limits? CrossFit Fondren is where Jackson trains. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned athlete, our expert coaches and supportive community will help you crush your goals. Join us for high-intensity workouts that build strength, endurance, and confidence. No gimmicks, just real results. Try your first class today for free. Visit us at CrossFitFondren.com or stop by the gym, 3002 North Mill Street in Jackson, in the heart of Fondren.
Are you looking for a church family to connect with? One that will provide opportunities to grow in your spiritual life, as well as a chance to serve others? First Baptist Flora may be just the place for you. We're located at 102 Jackson Street in Flora. To worship with us in person, we have a traditional worship service that begins Sunday mornings at 8:30. Then our life groups meet at 9:45, and the Refuge Contemporary service begins at 11 a.m. We also have a midweek service every Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. So come join us at First Baptist Flora, where we're making much of Jesus.
Did you know that the average 6-room house collects 40 pounds of dust each year? Local business Pure Air Consultants duct cleaning service can rid your home of the dust, dirt, and debris that may be caught in your air ducts. They can eliminate the mold, fungi, and microbes that might be growing inside your ductwork and polluting the air you breathe in your home. Mention WYAB and receive a free UV light with system replacement. Visit online at mypureairconsultants.com. mypureairconsultants.com.
Doctor, Tracy, doctor, what's your diagnosis? My whole house was hot as a fever. Now my house is frozen, 'cause my air conditioner's on. Doctor, my AC's broken. Doctor, the AC doctor, heal my house, bless my soul.
The AC Doctors is your one-stop provider for air conditioning and heating installation, service, and repair. Contact us for money-saving repairs and lower energy bills.
Doctor, the AC doctor, heal my house, bless my soul.
Google the AC Doctors and get some relief today. TheACDR.com.
Welcome back to the Chip Matthews Show, and here is your host, Chip Matthews.
Yes, I am Chip Matthews on a Monday morning, 6:57. If you're trying to get to work on time, hurry up. Good morning, Jimmy Rogers, Christy Duckworth, Roland, and Sam Brady. And Irene, you said, Chip, you need to become a substitute history teacher. You have some interesting views of statues and Confederate flags. This where history needs to be is in the books, read and move on. And who controls Canton? Old money millionaires. I don't know if we got any millionaires left in Canton. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is, and Irene, is look at it this way. In the middle of Vicksburg is a war site that it's the museum there in Vicksburg. It's the whole park, the military park. That is a Confederate war site and an American war site, correct? Okay. In Canton, right there at the old jail, most of those people, a lot of those people that are in that cemetery right next to the old jail, fought in the war between the states. Okay. And then there's an obelisk there that I want to say that was moved from another location to that location that was dedicated to the African Americans who fought in the war to help the South. But you got to look at all these things. History is not going to change by hiding it in books. We don't even teach books. They don't even read books anymore. History cannot hide. History is out there. Understand that. I'm not taking up, and that's what I was trying to say, and I only could think of the Medgar Evers house is the only other thing that I could think of right off. But there are things, and we have markers that we're putting up everywhere for Black History Month, this, that, and the other, for Black trails and blues trails. We're honoring everyone and putting it out there. The history is being remembered with these markers so that we don't repeat ourselves. But it's very, very interesting. And it's also tourism dollars. It's tourism dollars to the state. I know that's kind of silly to turn it into a green thing. But the black and white issue among the people is different than the black and white issue among the politicians. And the politicians suck. They lie to us. I'm Chip Matthews. Be back tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. See you.